Do you need to add super stylish captions to your videos that look a little bit like this? Well, look no further. I'm going to show you today how to do exactly that in Premiere Pro. But first things first, I'd like to shout out to another YouTuber, and his name is Saturn's Ring. I watched his video on how to create this text style, and I've added my own little twist to that tutorial, so do check out his video. I'm going to post a little snippet of it here, and I'll also post a link to it first in my description. So without further ado, let's jump straight into Premiere. I'm going to show you how to create these funky captions. Let's go. First things first, you're going to need to open the text engine by going to Window and clicking the text button, as seen right here. Click that bad boy and that will open the text engine. In here you'll see a transcript, captions or graphics tab. We're going to need the transcript because we're automatically transcribing these bad boys. We ain't typing in no captions manually, baby. Right, we're going to hit the triple dots in the top right corner and we're going to retranscribe. You won't have to click that. You'll have a button in the middle that will say transcribe. Hit that button and this screen will come up. This is where you can tell Premiere, where to pick the audio from for it to transcribe. We're going to click on audio 1. Make sure you select the corresponding audio layer where your voice is. And I'm also going to not check recognize when multiple people are speaking because it's just me speaking in this clip. If you have 2 people in your audio though, click that button. I'm going to now hit the transcribe button. It will do its magic in the background. If you get any issues, let me know in the comments because sometimes it does fail depending on what audio effects you have on your audio track. So give me a shout if you need a hand with that and I'll show you how to fix it. But in this case, we're okay. Premiere's going to do its thing. Now's a good chance to check your subtitles through. You can do any corrections up here by clicking on the text and typing it in. But for right now, I'm just going to pretend that it's got every word correct. I'm going to hit the CC button at the top corner, and that's going to bring this screen up. Now, for that style that we're going for, you want something around 20 characters in maximum length. So I'm going to drag this to around 20, and I'm going to minimum duration, I'm going to change to 2, and I'm going to change my lines to single because for that influencer pizzazz, we have a short attention span. We want only a single line. We don't want double lines. And I'm going to hit create. As you can see, it's now creating the captions up here, and boom, we now have Premiere's interpretation of my beautiful voice here. So this is also a good spot to check any grammatical issues or any spelling mistakes. And you may notice that we've now got a new timeline called subtitle. I've got 2 because I've already done this tutorial without recording it just to test, but you should see 1 subtitle track. Here are your individual subtitles. Now you're probably thinking, well, why do I need to do anything else? That's the problem, you see, because Premiere, they've done us a little bit dirty. We're going to have to use a third-party website to bring these captions from the subtitles track into Essential Graphics. Why, you may ask? Why? Why do we need third-party plugins? Because Premiere haven't made this a native feature, and as it stands at the moment, we can't transfer subtitle layers into Essential Graphics. The subtitles layer that we have is more geared towards the subtitles that you can toggle on and off on websites such as YouTube, Netflix, and other online players. You know, when you click the button and you pick the subtitles, that's what this feature is predominantly for. It's not meant to be done or used for styling reasons, but we're going to hack our way into the style. Okay, with the website primed and ready, we're going to go on the captions tab, we're going to hit the 3 dots and we're going to export to SRT file. This is the file that we're going to plumb into the website. I'm going to overwrite the one I've already got on my desktop, name it whatever you want. Once that's done, we're going to head to the website and we're going to upload an SRT file. Put in the file that you've just created. It'll automatically encode it into an XML. Hit download XML. And then drag that into your sequence. This will create a folder that is named after the file, as you can see here, and inside that folder is the sequence that we need. Make sure this button is enabled. That means it will nest it into your timeline. It's to do with formatting and it might not appear properly if you're using portrait videos. So just drag that in. It should appear as a green nest. If you don't see it as a green nest, you've not clicked this button, so make sure you redo that step. So as you can see now on the video, we have 2 subtitle tracks, which is good. One is Essential Graphics and the other is the subtitles file that we no longer need. So I'm just going to disable that by clicking this button here. That means we will no longer see the one we don't need. Don't delete the layer though, because we may need it as a reference later on down the line. So now I can double click on this nest and there we go. Hallelujah. The Holy Grail. We have Essential Graphics in here and these are now editable and animatable as if they are Essential Graphics layers. And we've completely automated that. We did not have to manually do it, which is great. Quickly, once again, shout out to Saturn's Ring on YouTube for showing me the text style that I'm about to use. If you want to copy the settings from my video, by all means do so. If you want to go check him out on his video, I recommend you do check his video out because he's the original OG of this method. Check his video out and get the settings from there, as well as a bunch of other preset goodies, which are really great for creating these types of videos. I've already got the captions file in my bin because I've followed this along with his video and watched his settings. So what I'm going to do is just select all of the essential graphics, and I'm going to drag the text style on. And there we go, we have that style that we're looking for. So now if you want to open the Essential Graphics tab, you can do so by going to Window and scrolling down to Essential Graphics. That will open this window. Make sure you have a layer selected, and as you can see up here, we can now go in and control these subtitles as essential graphics. So we have a lot more control over the animation style in there. So the main settings that you want are here. You want this font, which you can download for free if you search on Google. Check out Saturn's Rings video. He'll have a download in his video as well that you can get that from. And these are the settings here if you want to follow along and copy them. So quick thing about text styles, they don't save to your Premiere by default as is like a preset that you can drag up whenever you want. You have to save the preset to a Premiere project file and then work from that Premiere project file as if that is a template. And to do that, so say if I want to make this text a bit bigger and I want to save that as a preset, I've made it now 100 in size. I need to click on the style button here and click on create style. This box will appear and I can now type in my new name for my preset, so I can call this new captions. Hit enter and that will then save this file into your Premiere bin down here. And again, the only way to get back to this file again and again is to save this project as a template or create a template project file, and we rework from that every time. So what I'm going to do now is just delete that because I don't actually need that. Right, so now we have the text on our timeline as an essential graphic. What can we do with it? What shall we do with it? Well, we need to add that color in. This is the only time you need to add anything manual to this process. And it's also the same time when you can start checking for spellings and change any text should you need to, because once again, these layers are fully editable. You can go in there and tweak them if you need to. So I recommend doing the coloring and the spell checking and formatting all in one go rather than having to repeat the process again and again and again. That speeds it up for you and it allows you to work for potentially a client fast to provide this as a service. So how do we add color? Well, I have a workaround that's kind of going to speed that up for you. I've created a captions color palette, which is based on the popular colors that we probably need for this. I'm just going to lock that off there, and I can put this in the description if you want, but I'm pretty sure you can mock this up or just screenshot it and import it as a picture into your Premiere project. So what are we going to do now? Well, let's start adding color. Now, my method of doing that is copying the text that we want to color, clicking the pipette, and then picking the bit of color that we want. Move on to the next one, select the word you want to color, pick the pipette, and pick a color that we want. So this is also a good time to start spell checking. So what I'm doing here is looking out for the words I want to color, but also mentally in my head, I'm just going through and making sure it kind of makes sense. So yeah, just go through, add all the color that you want. Obviously, you don't have to do it to every layer. It's, you know, for example, that is kind of, you know, some just connecting words. So like YouTube, I can probably put that in red. So yeah, just go through, add the color. This is a quick way of doing it. It saves you a couple of clicks, I guess. And it also means that you get the exact same color every time, because I don't think Premiere allows you to use swatches. Forgive me if I'm wrong, I'm not too sure. I don't think it does. I've seen other people using this method as well, and I've adopted it in my own workflow. So I'm just sticking to this for now, but you get the gist. So you can go through here, start adding all these bits of color that you need to add. And before you know it, you've got the style that you need to go for. And then once you're finished with that, we can get rid of that captions PNG that we no longer need, the color palette. And now time for a bit of the magic. I'm going to go back to the test clip. And as you can see there, it's a little bit small, but that's because it's scaled down from the nest. So I'm going to scale that up to say, let's go to about 80. And there you go. We now have those subtitles on our video ready to rock and roll. So yeah, that's the quick way of adding these captions in Premiere Pro. And that concludes this tutorial. If you had any trouble whatsoever, drop me a line anywhere you can find me and I'll be happy to help you out. I'll take some time to help you go through it step by step if there's anything that's not clear. Likewise, I'd really appreciate it if you could drop me a subscribe and potentially leave a comment in the comment section. If you have any suggestions, fire away. I am all ears. If I can help you guys make better content, then I'm doing my job correctly. So yeah, once again, shout out to Saturn's Ring. Again, go check his video out in the description. And I hope you enjoy your editing journey, folks. As always, happy editing.